now I have 4 kids, and now they're all school age. So they're kindergarten, 2nd grade, and 5th grade, twins. And I feel like in our lives, there's kind of a line between school time and playtime. And I was trying to pinpoint the difference in my mind because we have a lot of both. And so I think for us, the main thing is play is optional. It's always a choice. Do you want to do this craft or not? Do you want to play this game or not? And so it kind of, academic subjects can turn into play, or they can be taught through play, because the whole element of play is that it's their choice. They want to do it, and therefore they find it fun and playful. So it was a mind shift for me to begin recognizing that lessons can happen through play and during playtime. For us, it hasn't replaced the lessons, but it's kind of in addition. So this actually happened. I handed them some story cubes, and I didn't know what would happen. They're dice with pictures on every side. And these were Harry Potter themed and Star Wars themed. And so they rolled them all together. And then it came up with this amazing story. And the 10-year-olds started writing the story down. And they wrote, and they're all coming up with this crazy story. And it was 6 pages of writing. And I couldn't believe it. And, that's like writing and language arts and being creative and all of that. Or if we're playing a board game like Ticket to Ride and they're adding up the score as it goes around the board. I hate that game.
My family loves it. I don't like it because I don't win.
You're only not competitive at all.
I'm not competitive at all. Keep going, Jamie. I'm sorry. Ticket to Ride.
Okay, so it's like mental math, adding up the score as you go. So that's the first game that popped into my mind, where there's a lot of adding of mental math, like adding 7 or adding 15 sometimes, or adding 5 as you go around. So every week I've set aside one day, it's usually Wednesday, and that is what I call our project day. And so the kids just have time to work on whatever projects they've been wanting to do. They each have a subscription to a magazine, which usually has ideas in it or contests in it. And so they want to do whatever is in their magazines. And so I just help them, and I get them the paper and the scissors and the glue and whatever they want. And so I think I have seen them grow a lot that way. And also, if I just observe them, I can see, oh, he seems really interested in animation, or he's really interested in drawing cartoons. So how can I support that? I could get more graphic novels from the library, or get him new drawing pencils or something like that. So for the most recent project day, one of my 10-year-olds said he wanted to learn how to play Mandalorian on the piano, the theme song. So, I mean, I was a piano teacher, so I know that it would be really hard, and it would be very syncopated with a lot of counting. But, it's okay. I downloaded it, printed it out. I kind of went through the counting a little bit with him, and he just played around with it. And he said, oh, I want to watch this specific YouTube video and kind of listen to that, and then look at the sheet music, and then come up with my own thing. And I said, that's fine. Let's do it. So I just let him do it, and he just played with it, which made me so happy, right? With the piano, like, he's having fun at the piano. We keep the same rhythm all year round, and I have been setting aside the 4th week for project week, and so that's just a full week of working on whatever you want. And sometimes it's a catch-up week, like if they didn't finish an assigned reading or writing thing from a lesson, then it's not a big deal. I'm not going to force you to finish everything every day. So it can kind of trickle over into your other time. Like, so during the project week, so that's every 4th week. And then usually if we find a really fun book of recipes, which really goes, usually goes with our geography studies. For example, we studied Philippines in the winter, and then we did Cora cooks pancit, which is like the Filipino noodles. And then there's another one, Doña Esmeralda. It's all about food, and there was a recipe in the back. So if we want to cook the recipes that are in these picture books, which they usually want to, then Wednesdays are project day, or that whole fourth project week are perfect for that. So I guess that's how, I don't know, I'm just like putting time into our schedule to do whatever we want. They love board games. And so it was one particular cousin who is about 10 years older than me. So we didn't really speak as adults until I was out of college. And so he had a job. He's a businessman who went to Germany, like on business trips. And so he would bring back these board games, which back then were called German board games, because they created very strategic board games in Germany. And the direction would be in German, and he would just find them in English on the internet and learn the game. Like, this is how involved he was, and his wife. And so we started playing board games, and it's this whole new world of strategy games. So it's not chance type of board game where you just roll the dice and you move and you do whatever happens. So that's like Sorry and Monopoly and Chutes and Ladders. So there's very little strategy, which is frustrating for me. But I'm a very bad dice roller. So the strategy game, sometimes there are dice involved, but usually there are multiple ways to win. And sometimes the rules are a little bit complicated. So we have probably, I meant to count them up, but it was too daunting. I did not count up my board games. But probably 100 board games in my house. Yeah, they're in various closets.
That's a lot. I felt like I have a lot. I don't think we have that many. My daughter one day wrote a list. She was like, I need to write a list because I think we have doubles. And I was like, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's very organized. That's great. So what I did was I took all the geography board games, because many of the board games have a geography theme. And I don't mean that there's always a map, but there is a story that has to do with another culture or another country. And so I made a big list. There are 50 games. And so I'm super excited about this. Can you tell? I made a PDF for free. So you can get my free PDF just by subscribing to my email list. And the PDF, it's over 50 games that are geography based, and it is 14 pages. So,
Wow.
I love it. Okay, so I just have one here. I just want to show you. So this is called Azul. And so these types of games usually come with this awesome blurb at the beginning. So it's like, introduced by the Moors, azulejos, originally white and blue ceramic tiles, were fully embraced by the Portuguese when their King Manuel I, on a visit to the Alhambra Palace in southern Spain, was mesmerized by the stunning beauty of the Moorish decorative tiles, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of long. And so you are a tile-laying artist to embellish the walls of the royal palace of Evora. So usually these games are also really pretty, and they're really complicated artwork. And so we just love these games. And now these games that previously were called German board games are published by Rio Grande Games and Ravensburger and Queen Games, and they're very available here in the US. So I guess that's how we've collected so many, because between the 6 of us, if you ask for board games for your birthdays and Christmas, you just stacks up really, really fast. So it's very, very exciting for us to play the board games on board game night. And I have them arranged by age. So there are some that all of my kids know how to play. And so my youngest will choose from that closet. And then, well, it's just part of the closet. It's not that many. And then there's a shelf in the linen closet. It's not a linen closet, it's a game closet. There's a shelf that my daughter, who is 8, she can play those. So it's like age 8 and up. So she has to choose from those. Otherwise, we'd be playing the easy ones like all the time, which, you know, it'd be like watching Lego Ninjago every week. And then there's the higher shelf is for the 11-year-olds. So, or 10-year-olds. They're almost 11. So they have to choose from that shelf.
I remember one Gord, he's the creator of Mathfickle, website Mathfickle that we love. He's a magician and an educator. He's been on my podcast. He talked about how much he loves games. Again, he's actually, he says, for him, he's like, he actually recommends, he's like, I'm a mathematician that we play games for math until like, he's like, just do that. Don't even think about the tables and memorizing formulas and things like that until after 13. Games, and he also he has a recommendation of games he recommends on his website. And his big thing as well is he's like strategic games, because games, the power of math is problem solving. It's it's not formulas. It's learning how to problem solve, strategize, and have that order in your brain. And that power of games that other things don't really bring in to for us. And so like that, I think he actually has some games he's created, but ones he recommends that are very similar, like Azul and things like that as well, that are really building our problem solving skills as well.
Yeah, we try to do a family fun day, and this isn't every week. It's just kind of when we don't have something going on. And so that's just kind of everybody, hey, what do we feel like doing today? It's usually, on Saturday or Sunday. So, of course, I made a list for my family. Choose from these. I mean, you can choose other things too. You can add to the list, but let's not always choose the same thing. So we've got like bike riding.
Right. Well, you're sharing ideas with your list. You're like offering a menu for them to select.
Like we could go bowling. We could play tennis. We could play badminton in the yard. We could take our bikes somewhere. We could go to the indoor pool. No, please don't choose that. We could go to the skateboard park. We could go orienteering, like just something. And I think I made a reel recently about using library passes to go to various museums or like the birding center or the botanical garden. Like, what do you want to do? Let's just do something. And so we try to do those. If we have kind of a low-key weekend, we'll just go out for a few hours and that. So that's like our family fun day, which yes, I think that I see other people doing that as well. Of course, like movie night, game night, family fun afternoon. For me, if I don't intentionally say, this is our family fun day, we're doing something together, then I'm just going to sit here like all day on my computer and do other things. I decided to make it a Star Wars themed year, because the kids love Star Wars. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get Star Wars origami and how to draw Star Wars characters. You can get these things at Costco or the thrift store or like book outlet very inexpensively. And so anything that I saw that was Star Wars, I'm like, yep, we're going to get that and that. And, oh, what birthday cake do you want this year? We're going with the Star Wars theme. I mean, the kids wanted the Star Wars theme. It wasn't me. So, all right, I'm going to make you a Millennium Falcon cake. And then you're going to get a Grogu cake because my little one loves Grogu. So, all right. So my daughter, no, she wanted a Disney princess. So she got a Disney princess cake. But that was fine. And it was okay.
Fair.
Because you can't get too involved and step on their desires. So it was our Star Wars year. And I crocheted them these Star Wars hats that winter. For Halloween, they did not want to be Star Wars characters. I think only one of them. So I said, fine, you don't have to match. It's okay. This is not about me. It's about you. And so this past year was Harry Potter. I know it's slightly controversial, but we listened to Harry Potter books